Hi there and welcome back. This is video 15 of the SHRM HR Terms and Definitions series. By the end of this video, you will know what is Just-Cause Termination, Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act, Age Discrimination in Employment Act or ADEA, and Americans with Disabilities Act ADA. We will also discuss and break down one situational based question at the end of this video based on one of the topics covered in the video. Let's begin with just cause termination. Just cause termination is dismissing an employee without notice. To merit an immediate dismissal, the employer must find a just cause that makes it impossible to continue the employee's employment. In an extreme case, an employee might be fired because they are accused of a crime. Even in this scenario though, the employer may not have just cause. Factors could include whether the accusation has merit or the employee is already convicted, the severity of the act, whether the conduct has a direct impact on the ability of the employee to do their job, whether it hurts the morale of other employees, whether it hurts the reputation of the employer, particularly when the company is small and connected to the community, whether the employee is accused of using their role with the employer to commit the crime. Next, Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act. Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, as amended, prohibits discrimination in employment. Now, whether you are an employer or employee, you've most likely heard about Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act. In fact, there are few employment laws out there as important as this one, particularly when it comes to allegations for workplace discrimination. Many people are surprised to learn that most US jobs in the US are considered at-will employment. This means that an employer can typically fire an employee for any reason they want, except an illegal reason such as unlawful discrimination, and that's where the Title 7 of the Civil Rights Act comes into play. Specifically, Title 7 is the main federal law that prohibits employment discrimination, and this is based on factors like race, religion, national origin, color, sex, including gender, gender identity, pregnancy, and sexual orientation. This means that an employer cannot fire an employee or refuse to hire, demote, refuse to promote based on any of the previously mentioned protected characteristics. If they do, the employee might have a right to a discrimination claim. Now, you might notice that age and disability aren't one of the protected groups in the Title 7. And that is because older workers and disabled workers are typically protected under different federal laws: the Age Discrimination and Employment Act, ADEA, and Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA. So let's look at those next. But before that though, I apologize in advance for interrupting the video right now. Just a quick message from me. If you are preparing for the SHRM exam, then consider checking out my SHRM exam study guide, the one book learning system. I have left a link in the description of this video where you can find more details about this guide and how to use it to ace the exam. Now back to the video. The Age Discrimination in Employment Act, ADEA, of 1967 protects workers who are age 40 and older from workplace discrimination. It prohibits employees from making decisions to hire, fire, or promote employees based on their age only. The objective of the ADEA is to minimize the damaging effects of long-term unemployment in older workers. Specifically, it prohibits the following: discrimination in hiring practices, the awarding of withholding of promotions, wages, terminations and layoffs, the use of or making statements regarding certain age preferences or limitations, harassing an older worker because of their age, denying benefits to older employees. Now, it's important to note, an employee is only allowed, or rather an employer, is only allowed to cut benefits based on age if the cost of providing reduced benefits to older workers is the same as what providing full benefits to younger workers would cost. In essence, that is discrimination, right? Mandatory retirement at certain age. Mandatory retirement for workers based on age is only allowed with executives who are entitled to a pension that pays over an annual minimum sum. So the key takeaways for this act are the following. Employers are prohibited from making hiring and firing decisions, among others, based on an employee's or job applicant's age. The act applies to companies with 20 or more workers. It aims to minimize the damaging effects of long-term unemployment on older workers. Before you file an age discrimination lawsuit in court, you must first file a complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission or EEOC and receive a notice of right to sue. Great. Next, Americans with Disabilities Act or ADEA. The ADEA prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities and guarantees that they have equal opportunity to participate in mainstream American life. Passed in 1990, this federal law made it illegal to discriminate against a disabled person in terms of employment opportunities, access to transportation, public accommodations, communications, and government activities. The ADEA prohibits private employers, state and local governments, employment agencies, and labor unions from discriminating against those who have disabilities. Under the ADEA, employers are also required to make reasonable accommodations for an employee with a disability to perform their job function. Now, to be covered by the ADEA, a person must have a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. Key takeaways from this act are: the ADEA applies to all private businesses with 15 or more employees. It also covers government employers, employment agencies, and labor unions. The ADEA also had the effect of increasing accessibility and mobility for disabled people by mandating automatic doorways, ramps, and elevators to accommodate wheelchairs in public places and businesses. Next, a quick shout out to CSESC1 for suggesting that I ask a question related to the video at the end of these videos. So let's do that. An employee has been accused of theft from their workplace. What action would you, as an HR manager, take in this situation? Your options are immediate termination, launch a formal investigation and gather evidence, confront the employee and give them a warning, contact a legal advisor for guidance on how to proceed. I'm going to give you a moment here to think about this and make your decision and then reveal the correct answer. Yes? So the correct answer is B. Launch a formal investigation and gather evidence. So this scenario is related to just cause termination. It is important to gather all the facts before making a decision. By launching a formal investigation, the HR manager can gather evidence and ensure that a fair and thorough process is followed. Everything can be documented, right? Now, this will also provide evidence for the organization to terminate the employees based on just cause termination without notice. Now, also pay attention to the wordplay in this question, right? The question says accused and not convicted. So there's only an accusation made at the moment, and obviously we need to investigate further and gather facts. On the other hand, what if you change the word in the question from accused to convicted? Would you change your answer? Well, you should, because convicted means the investigation has already taken place and the evidence has already been gathered, right? So in this case, the answer would then change to A, immediate termination. So there are these small details we need to pay attention to when answering SHRM questions. Great. Next, if you're preparing for the SHRM exam, then make sure you download your free practice test from my website linked below in the video description. If you found value in this video, then like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. I post HR and leadership related videos every week. I will see you in the next video.